How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was March 2nd, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Bryan Danielson went over with the triangle sleeper. Now, before the match, Tony Schiavone interviewed Tony Khan, and Tony Schiavone was asking Tony Khan what the big announcement was and everything, and what's the big announcement and everything, and Tony Khan was saying, 3 years ago, I started AEW in this parking lot. 17 years before that, ROH started. And I have been a big fan of ROH since it's been going on. And the big announcement I'm going to make is I now own Ring of Honor. And the first episode of Ring of Honor, they had a match. The American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. That was the main event. And nobody won the match. So, since both Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels are both here tonight, they're going to be in action right here, right now. So thank you all for your support, and you all have been the best throughout this pandemic, and I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get the action going, and everything. That was cool. And after the match, Bryan Danielson got on a microphone and cut a promo saying, 20 years ago, the very first episode of Ring of Honor, I was in the main event against the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. There was no winner. And back in Ring of Honor, the matches always started off with a handshake and always ended with a handshake. Well, I'm here to tell you right now, I am not in Ring of Honor anymore. I am in AEW, and I'm going to kick everyone's heads in. And so Bryan Danielson got a hold of Christopher Daniels by his hands, and then Bryan Danielson was stomping on Christopher Daniels' head and everything, and then Bryan Danielson was stomping on Christopher Daniels' head. Well, Jon Moxley came out to the ring, and Jon Moxley got on the microphone and was saying, Bryan Danielson, you've become better than ever. You have become more violent than ever. But I'm going to tell you right now, you think that you're going to knock me out, but at Revolution, you think you're going to knock me out and send me into oblivion? Well, you're sadly mistaken, because at Revolution, I am going to go to Revolution in our match, and I'm going to kick your ass, and I'm going to watch you bleed. And that's all I got to say about that. And then Bryan Danielson dropped the microphone and was getting ready to fight Jon Moxley, but Bryan Danielson retreated and Jon Moxley stood tall. That was cool. Match 2, it was a casino tag team royale to determine the other half of the number one contenders of the AEW tag team titles. And the contestants in the match were FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, Top Flight, which are Dante and Darius Martin, The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, The Dark Order, which are 10 and Alan Five Angels, The Butcher and the Blade, The Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, Bear Country, which are Bear Bronson and Bear Boulder, Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, The Best Friends, which are Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, The Dark Order, which are Evil Uno and Stu Grayson, The Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, The Wingmen, which are Ryan Nemeth and Peter Avalon, The Gun Club, which are Austin and Colton Gunn, The Nightmare Family, which are Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and 2.0, which are Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. So, the Casino Tag Team Royale, that was a great match. But the ending to it, the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, went over because Matt Jackson lastly eliminated Darius Martin. Now, after the match, Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, came into the ring to celebrate with the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson. Well, the Young Bucks and Red Dragon gave each other fist bumps and were celebrating in the ring. And then the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, along with Christian Cage, came out and looked on stage. So the Jurassic Express, along with Christian Cage, were staring down the Young Bucks and Red Dragon in the ring and everything. That was cool. Match 3, it was Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez went over because Thunder Rosa pinned Britt Baker with the Fire Thunder Driver. Now, before the match, as Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel were already out in the ring, Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez came out to the ring, and before the match started, a brawl ensued between Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And they were all beating the shit out of each other before the match started and everything. That was cool. Match 4, it was Wardlow versus Cesar Bononi. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Wardlow went over with the Powerbomb Symphony. Now after the match, Shawn Spears came into the ring and tried to attack Cesar Bononi with a steel chair, but Wardlow grabbed the steel chair from Shawn Spears and jerked it out of his hand, and then Shawn Spears got pissed off and took off his beanie, and Wardlow and Shawn Spears had a stare down and everything. That was cool. And that was match 4, by the way. match 5 and match 5, it was Adam Cole and Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which are John Silver and Alex Reynolds. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Adam Cole and Red Dragon went over because Adam Cole pinned Alex Reynolds with the boom. Now after the match, Adam Cole attacked Alex Reynolds, beating the shit out of him, and then Hangman Page got into the ring and fought off Adam Cole, beating the shit out of him, and then Red Dragon came into the ring and tried to fight off Hangman Page, but Hangman Page beat the shit out of Red Dragon, and then Adam Cole got a cheap shot in and started beating the shit out of Hangman Page, and then Red Dragon beat the shit out of Hangman Page some more, and then Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, taped Hangman Page's arms on the ropes, and Red Dragon attacked. Adam Cole rolled John Silver back into the ring, and Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, done the high-low double team move to John Silver, and because that was who Adam Cole rolled back in the ring, and also so that's who Adam Cole rolled back in the ring, was John Silver. Well, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish attacked John Silver with the high-low. Adam Cole attacked Alex Reynolds with the Panama Sunrise, and then Adam Cole was taunting Hangman Page, and Hangman Page was trying to fight off Adam Cole by kicking him in the face, but Adam Cole done multiple super kicks to Hangman Page, and then Adam Cole held the AEW title up, taunting Hangman Page after Adam Cole laid Hangman Page out with super kicks. And then Adam Cole and Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, stood tall, while Hangman Page and the Dark Order, which are John Silver and Alex Reynolds, were laid out and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Now, besides all that, Sting and Darby Allin cut a promo. Sting was saying, Friday night on Rampage, it's going to be an AEW TNT title match, a three-way match. Sting and Darby Allin cut a promo. Sting was saying, Friday night on Rampage, the AEW TNT title will be on the line. And if anybody interferes, there will be fines, there will be suspensions. No problem. Then Sting said, Darby, you have a problem with it? Darby Allin said, no, not at all. Because Friday night, I'm going up against Sammy Guevara and Andrade El Idolo in a three-way match for the AEW TNT title this Friday night on AEW Rampage. Now, I don't give a shit about fines. I don't give a shit about suspensions. Because, Sammy, I respect the hell out of you. And it's going to be an honor teaming with you and Sting against the AHFO. But Friday night, I'm going to give it my best. And I'm going to take your AEW TNT title and everything. That was cool. Chris Jericho cut a promo talking about Chris Jericho cut a promo and was saying, last week during our promo segment, whatever, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a promo or segment, but the conversation I had with Eddie Kingston, it went great. But I will say this, Eddie, you talk about wanting your big moment. Well, you got it last week because you were in the ring with Chris Jericho. But it wasn't no big moment for me because I've had so many big moments over the years since I've been 22 years old. But you're 38 years old. You've never had your big moment until last week because I gave it to you. And Eddie, this Sunday at Revolution, I am, Chris Jericho was saying, this Sunday at Revolution, if you win, I will shake your hand and I will tell you that you're the best damn wrestler there ever is. But if you don't win, which you won't, then I will laugh in your face and I will tell you GFY and everything. And then Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, came along, and Santana and Ortiz took their grip tape off, and then Santana and Ortiz signaled for a fist bump to Chris Jericho, and so Chris Jericho gave Santana and Ortiz a fist bumps, and Chris Jericho asked Santana and Ortiz, "Are we cool?" And then Santana and Ortiz shook their heads yes, and then walked off, then left, and Chris Jericho said, "I've always got your backs," and everything. That was cool. CM Punk came out to the ring and got a microphone and cut a promo, and CM Punk was talking about how last week MJF's words hit him deep, because of MJF's story about how he was bullied and how he has ADD and everything, and then and CM Punk was also talking about how he may be gaslighted, but the older he gets, the more calm he is and everything. And then CM Punk was also talking about how when he was a kid, he got a picture with Stone Cold Steve Austin, because Stone Cold Steve Austin was who he looked up to in the business of professional wrestling. And CM Punk was saying, when Stone Cold Steve Austin took his ball and went home, I didn't cause any destruction like Max did. I didn't go calling people names. I didn't go trying to make other people feel bad, except and everything. And then CM Punk was saying, so with that being said, Max, let's come out here and let's talk. And then MJF came out to the ring, and soon as MJF came out to the ring, CM Punk said, Max, just the man I want to see. I will admit, you come out here, when I came out here, when we first met, you reached out your hand, and I didn't shake your hand, because I thought that you didn't deserve it. But I will say, last week, your words hit deep. But I'm going to say this. I was once like you. I poured alcohol down an alcoholic's mouth. I scattered ashes of a wrestler's beloved dead manager. I made fun of a man's addiction until he got fired from his job due to it. Max, you may feel good right now with all that hate in you, but as you get older, you'll end up regretting all the hate that you've had, because the older I get, the more I regret the hate that I've had in this business and in life. So you might want to take that in consideration, Max. And then, and CM Punk was saying, so how about this, Max? Think about you being 11 years old looking up to me. Well, there's an 11-year-old out there looking up to you. So think about it. You might want to change your ways before anything. But, Max, I'm here to shake your hand. Then CM Punk reached out his hand to shake MJF's hand, but MJF signaled in for a hug, and so MJF hugged CM Punk. CM Punk hugged MJF back, and then after they hugged, MJF attacked CM Punk with a low blow, and then MJF executed the Heat Seeker to CM Punk. Well, then MJF signaled for Wardlow and Shawn Spears to come out, so Wardlow came out and Shawn Spears came out too with the chain. Well, MJF signaled Wardlow to give him his diamond ring. Well, before they came out, MJF was on top of CM Punk punching him in the face, but after Wardlow and Shawn Spears came out, Wardlow and MJF signaled Wardlow to give him his Dynamite Diamond ring, so Wardlow slipped the Dynamite Diamond ring to MJF. MJF attacked CM Punk with a punch in the face with that diamond ring, and then MJF attached. MJF signaled Shawn Spears to put but as MJF was beating the shit out of CM Punk, FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, came out, and the security tried to come out, but FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, attacked the security and beat the shit out of them. Now, MJF signaled Shawn Spears to wrap the dog collar around CM Punk's neck. So Shawn Spears did. And Shawn Spears held on to the leash of the chain of the dog collar. And, well, MJF got on the microphone and said, "You stupid old man. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. One thing you gotta know about me, punk, is I'm a snake. And I have all the tricks in the world up my sleeve. And this Sunday at Revolution, I'm gonna kick your ass and everything." And as MJF had CM Punk was talking shit to CM Punk, Shawn Spears was choking CM Punk with the chain, the dog collar and chain and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Keith Lee, and Tony Schiavone brought up to Keith Lee that Tony Schiavone said, "Keith Lee, Tony Schiavone said, Keith Lee, this Sunday at Revolution, you're going to be part of the Face of the Revolution ladder match to determine the number one determine who the number one contender spot for the AEW TNT title. But before that, you have a warm-up match Friday night on Rampage. What's your thoughts? Keith Lee was getting ready to talk, but then Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, cut a promo. Well, Team Taz before Keith Lee could talk, Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, came interrupted it, and Ricky Starks was saying, "Greetings," mocking Keith Lee because Keith Lee was getting ready to say that. Keith Lee said, "What's this about? Because that's twice you've interrupted me. What do you want?" Ricky Starks was saying, "Yes, I've interrupted you twice, Keith Lee, but I'm here to tell you right now, you better be careful because you're in this Face of the Revolution ladder match, but so are we. And you better not show up Friday night." And then Ricky Starks, that was what Ricky Starks was saying, and Ricky Starks was saying, "Because I am unstoppable. And Team Taz, we own this place." And Powerhouse Hobbs was saying, "And I'm the president of it." And Ricky Starks was saying, "Like I said, Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs said, and I'm the president of it." Ricky Starks was saying, "So like I said, Keith Lee, you better not show up on Rampage, because if you do, we'll kick your ass." And then Keith Lee was saying, "Well, I will be at Rampage." Well, Keith Lee was saying, "Well, I'll be there," and everything. Well, Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, left while Keith Lee was looking on and everything. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed Ty Conti and Anna Jay, and Alex Marvez brought up to Ty Conti. Well, Alex Marvez said, "Ty Conti, you have accepted the open challenge to face Jade Cargill for the TBS Women's title at Revolution. Well, we all know you have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, a blue belt in karate, and everything. So, what is your strategy going in to your match with Jade Cargill?" Well, Ty Conti was getting ready to talk, but then Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling came along, and Jade Cargill was saying, well, if it isn't Ty Conti." Well, Ty Conti was getting ready to attack Jade Cargill, but Anna Jay held Ty Conti back, and Mark Sterling said, Mark Sterling said, "Ty, I don't know if you were aware, but when you signed that contract to accept the open challenge to face Jade Cargill for the TBS Women's title, it said in the contract you are not allowed to put your hands on Jade Cargill. And if you put your hands on Jade Cargill, the TBS Women's title match will be off." And Jade Cargill was saying, "Also, Ty, I don't give a shit about your jiu-jitsu background, because Sunday, I'm gonna kick your ass, and I'm gonna keep the TBS Women's title because I am that bitch." And then Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling left while Anna Jay and Ty Conti were looking on and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of the build-up of the ongoing rivalry between Chris Statlander and Layla Hirsch. That was cool. Sammy Guevara came out with his flashcards and cut a promo saying, Friday night on Rampage, I will be facing Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo in a three-way match with my AEW TNT title on the line. That's cool, but I will say this, Matt, Andrade, Isaiah, do you all ever fight fair? Because every time you turn around, you're not fighting fair. You're always having, the numbers game is always in your advantage. But fines or suspensions, I don't give a shit. Because Friday night, I'm going to beat Darby Allin and Andrade El Idolo and remain the AEW TNT champ. Darby, I have a lot of respect for you. And I'm honored to have you and Sting as my partners against the AHFO Sunday night at Revolution. But on Friday, respect will be put aside and we'll be fighting. So, Friday night, so good luck to you, Darby, and everything. That was cool. The House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, cut a promo, and Malachi Black was saying, so, Pac, did the House give you better vision? Penna, did the House bring out your dark side? And then Brody King came along, and Brody King was saying, you know, violence has always been shunned by society. And Buddy Matthews came along and said, and judgment, never pass judgment, because the House, and then Brody King said always, and then Malachi Black said wins, and everything. That was cool. And Alex Marvez interviewed Wardlow and Sean Spears, and Alex Marvez was getting ready to ask Wardlow and Sean Spears a question, but things got heated, and Alex Marvez left, and then Sean Spears was saying, Wardlow, hey, big man, I know you're mad. I know we got into it a little earlier, but I still love you. Now, Max has got something for you. Maxie, come here and tell Wardlow the good news. MJF came along and said, hey, Wardlow, MJF said, hey, War Dog, I got some good news for you. If you win the Face of the Revolution ladder match Sunday night at Revolution, I'll let you keep the title. That's only if you win. But if you don't win, which I don't think you will anyway, MJF came along after Sean Spears signaled for MJF to come along. Well, MJF was saying, hey, War Dog, I just wanted to come by and give you some good news. If you win the Face of the Revolution ladder match, then I'll let you keep the title. But if you don't win, then you won't win. And I don't think you're going to win anyway. And then MJF walked off, and Wardlow said, well, that's because I've always been making sure you win. Then MJF walked back and said, listen, Wardlow, you're not a professional wrestler. You are my bodyguard. You will do as I, well, Wardlow, after MJF walked off, Wardlow said, well, that's because I've always been making sure you win. Well, MJF walked back to Wardlow. MJF slapped Wardlow in the face, and MJF was saying, listen, Wardlow, you're not a professional wrestler. You are my bodyguard. And you don't work for AEW. You work for me. So don't ever take my kindness for weakness. Because I will make sure you and your family are living on the streets. And that's a fact. And then MJF and Shawn Spears left, and Wardlow was looking on pissed off and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. The referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Paul Turner refereed the match between Bryan Danielson versus Christopher Daniels. Mike Posey, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards refereed the Casino Tag Team Royale. Rick Knox refereed the match between Thunder Rosa and Mercedes Martinez versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Aubrey Edwards, that was Rick Knox, by the way. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Wardlow versus Cesar Bononi, and Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Adam Cole and Red Dragon versus Hangman Page and the Dark Order. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night, it's going to be Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo in a three-way match for the AEW TNT title. Christian Cage versus Ethan Page in a Face of the Revolution qualifying match. Keith Lee versus a local competitor, and Serena Deeb versus a local competitor in the Professor's 5-Minute Rookie Challenge. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event Revolution, for the pre-show, it's going to be QT Marshall versus Hook, and Chris Statlander versus Layla Hirsch. Those are the matches on the pre-show that have been announced. And the matches on the main show that have been announced, it's going to be Hangman Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW title. The Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, versus the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, versus Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, in a three-way tag team match for the AEW tag team titles. Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa for the AEW women's title. Jade Cargill versus Ty Conti for the TBS women's title. A Face of the Revolution ladder match to determine the number one contender for the AEW TNT title. And the contestants in the match so far are Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricky Starks, and Orange Cassidy. Sting, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara versus the Andrade Hardy Family Office, which are Matt Hardy, Andrade El Idolo, and Isaiah Cassidy in a Tornado Trios match. Chris Jericho versus Eddie Kingston. CM Punk versus MJF in a dog collar match. And Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. So those are the matches that have been announced for the main show. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's pay-per-view event Revolution looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. And I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was March 2nd, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.